Hello, and welcome to Over the Line, Roundtable, Willie, and Things. I'm Andrew McLean. This is Jonathan Bird.
Hello, everyone.
And this is Tony Gump. Well, that was an awkward start. How's everybody doing?
I'm good. I hope everybody out there doing good.
I'm good. Ready to roll.
Can I go ahead and say by the way, we got some new toys in the studio. It just looks phenomenal in here. We've even got our nice black and white Over the Line logo. I think this looks much better than the white and whatever, the other one. John Bird, earlier today, I had a little bit of a medical episode, as you know.
That was kind of scary.
And I was just going to keep it quiet, but then I was like, man, I probably sound sluggish and quiet. People are wondering why I'm not yelling. And so I went ahead and put it out there. I was like, I didn't know if I was having a panic attack. I just felt weird all of a sudden, and I was scared that I was going to have to dip out, and you're just going to have to play, Wheel of Segments replays or something. But when you came in the studio to talk to me and check on me, I didn't know if you were tired or if you were drunk or what, but you sounded like you were off.
Yeah, I hadn't been getting a whole lot of sleep, Andrew, as you know, and as everyone knows, I've struggled with insomnia all my life.
Okay.
And I've tried different things, and melatonin doesn't do it or anything like that. But indica works really well. It's a gummy.
A Delta 8.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, here's the problem. Your timing has to be just right, especially if you're talking to somebody. But, I decided to go downstairs for some reason. I woke up and decided to go downstairs to get something to eat. Mm-hmm. And I was feeling pretty good. So I ate a block of cheese. That was Gouda, which I love. I'm a big fan of Gouda.
I don't think I know anything about Gouda.
Not a half a pound. Not a fan of a half a pound.
Oh, yeah.
So I cut that up, and then I decided, I also got some truffle cheese.
Okay.
I didn't eat that. But I decided, you know what? You need more, because I was going to do these in little bags, for protein and go keto and all that, But what ended up happening is I said, I've got to have these little hard salamis to wrap the cheese. I can wrap
that's a good idea.
Cheese. Yeah. Well, the problem is when I ran out of the cheese, I was like, am I still hungry now? I had just a little bit. I ate about 10 more of just the pepperonis.
Wow. Okay.
So I finished a 2-pound bag of that. And then I was like, I'll never get this taste out of my mouth. So I ate a giant bowl of chocolate ice cream.
Okay.
And then I was like, I don't feel good. I need to go upstairs. And then I hear my phone go, ding, ding. Someone's sending a message, and it's 10:04. And I'm supposed to be on the air, doing it. So,
wait a minute. 10:04 in the morning?
Yes.
Today?
Yes.
You were late to work today?
I was out. I remember the alarm going off.
Wait. I'm so confused.
Yes.
You were not at the station at 10:04?
No, I was not.
What time did you get to work?
Wasn't important. What else is going on? 10:36.
No wonder Val was freaked out when I came in last minute. She was like, where's Andrew at? And I had just walked in. And then she came in something about, I understand, Tennessee, Alabama, blah, blah, blah. Wow, that's quite the adventure you had last night leading up to this morning. So
actually, I'm still having that adventure.
Okay.
So
in other words, you weren't drunk. You haven't been drinking on the job.
No.
You just had Delta 8 residual, indica residual.
Indica, just a little bit.
Well, that's good. I mean, I was legitimately concerned. It actually contributed more to my panic attack because I didn't know what was going on. And I don't blame you for that. It's not your responsibility to only be on indica at certain times.
I don't want to be on indica any other time than to go to sleep.
Right.
But I have to remember to pee before I go to bed. Because if I get up to pee, I've told you about that, running into walls.
Right.
And then I have to crawl to the bathroom. not because I'm drunk or anything, but I can't stand up. My balance is like, I lean to the left.
Yeah, Tony knows a lot about Delta 8, obviously in the business of vapor forge. You guys do a lot of deltas and all that kind of stuff.
It helps with sleep, that's for sure. That's
It
what I use
really
for.
does.
Yeah.
Trish takes it. I don't know what it is, but I can't do it like I used to. I can do it to go to sleep, but I don't unless I have to.
Yeah,
now, there's people that can do it all day, every day.
Yeah, he's right when he says the timing's important. If you don't hit that window, like you eat it and then 30 to 45 minutes later, if you lay down and close your eyes, you will fall asleep.
Yes.
If you miss it, you will be eating a bag of chips or whatever.
Yeah, you got to. If you go to Vapor Forge to get Delta 8 stuff, you got to consult these guys and say, here's where I am. This is what I need. How much? And whatever they tell you to take, like, take that at that time. Don't risk it. It's like, you remember when we used to go out in our 20s? Well, I used to go out in my 20s.
I did too. It was just earlier.
Okay, so we went out in our 20s, and it would be a weekday, and we would maybe stay out a little longer than we should, especially since we had to be at work at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
You get done at the bar at like 3 or 4 a.m., you go crash on somebody's couch for a couple hours and you wake up and go to work, but you're still drunk. It's kind of one of those deals. If you take your Delta 8 a little too late, you're going to be a little woozy the next day.
Yeah, I did the stinking drunk.
Yeah.
Not even going to bed. And I was working construction. And I went and they put me on a jackhammer.
No, they did.
Yes,
Are
they
you
did.
serious?
Yeah, it was like a DuPont plant. So they're always changing things. So I think he probably knew, but I was, he was like, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, just got a headache. Just got a headache, dude." And so he said, "All right, well, you and Phil are gonna be on the jackhammers today." I was like, "Oh, that'll be great." And I will tell you that there was one time when I was doing it that puke started going bloop, 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 bloop. But I was so drunk I didn't care. I puked all over that thing. That's probably why I got fired a month later.
You did get fired a month later?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I didn't like that place anyway.
Yeah. What age were you at that time? Mid-20s?
19.
You're 19. Oh, okay. So you were just getting in the workforce.
Yeah. Yeah. And then one of the bands that I was in, his dad was had a carpentry company and built houses. So I was able to get that gig. That's a sweet gig.
Yeah. Are we still? I hate to be that guy. I'm trying to behave and stay in the middle of the screen. We had that problem last time. John Bird's in the middle of the screen, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. So yeah, we're trying to expand our reach here on Over the Line on Roundtable Willie because we want to. I had quit TikTok for a while, but now I'm kind of like maybe we should get back on TikTok. I mean, China owns our president, so why would it matter if he owns our information? So we get back on TikTok and we start putting clips of this show on there because we want to spread the word. For those of you that already watch this show, you need to be spreading it. You need to send it to your mama, your daddy, your big fat granny with the hole in her panties, and everybody else, all your friends.
I don't have. There's no granny I know like that.
Did your granny ever have a hole in her panties, John Bird?
I don't know.
You didn't check?
No, I think they were kind of poor growing up, but I think they're able to afford panties for grandma.
Are you talking like spiritually holy, or you mean actual
No,
holes?
actual holes in the panties. That's just, it's not a big deal.
My uncle, he drank a lot, and he walked around in his underwear. He had holes in his pants.
Did he?
Yeah. Well, they weren't panties. I guess they would be tidy whities, as we call them, but they were never white.
Yeah. I always catch
Yellow
heat.
and dark gray.
I always catch heat at the house because I will, like, if I take a shower, I will, go to the other end of the house to get a towel if there's not one, or grab some clothes or whatever. And I'm thinking, like, this is my house, so I can do it. But we have these windows that Trish always has the blinds open. It's like these plantation shutters, and she claims that people can see, whether it's neighbors or people driving by on the road. Maybe that's true at night when you're looking in and the lights are on. But during the day, like I can walk around the house naked without people seeing. Don't you think? You know what my house looks like.
Yeah. I mean, I run around naked in my house, and I got a roommate. I don't care.
Has your roommate ever seen you doing that?
No, fortunately, we have different schedules that we follow. Now, I was wondering one thing. I've done this since I was probably in my mid-teens. For some reason, water sticks to me and it won't come off.
What do you mean?
Like everybody can go like and dry right up, but I'll like rub it and it's like still there. So what I started doing, and it's effective for me, is I will stand up and right after I turn the shower off, and then I take my hand and I do this, and the water goes off there, and I go and do my legs just like that. And then what I do is I'll dry off with a towel at that point. Then I will stand in the mirror, not because I want to see myself naked.
Of course not.
No, God no. But but because that's the area that I do the drying. I'll take the towel and I'll snap it, and my OCD, I have to do it 10 times.
Okay.
And the air from that will dry my body, and then I can finish. So does
Well,
anybody else have a?
That's a lot. So what do you water sticks to you? I don't
Yeah.
understand that.
It's amazing.
Tony, will you Google can water stick to your skin? Is that actually a thing? I've
Yeah.
never heard of this.
Technically, your skin's made of water, so I don't know about
Exactly.
that.
What the? I'm just not understanding.
And it may be me. I may have always expected water to come off.
Okay.
Just a certain way.
All right,
Surface
here we go.
tension
Surface
says
and-
water sticks to skin due to surface tension. When the surface is stretched, as when you blow up a bubble, it becomes larger in area, and more molecules are dragged from within the liquid to become part of the increased area. I don't understand what that means. Why am I not understanding? This stretchy skin effect is called surface tension. Sticky or clammy skin can be caused by a variety of problems, some of which require emergency medical care.
Wait a minute. Let's not go there.
Do we need to call an ER? Or we need to call an ambulance?
No. I mean, I've done this since I was like 15. I just don't like water sticking to me. Okay? Just like I can't watch. Have you ever never seen a mechanical watch on me? Because I stop them. I literally, and that you can look that up too. I'll get one, I'll have it, and it will stop.
Wait, a clock or a watch will stop working if you wear it.
Yes. And
Bro, you got something going on. I don't know what it is. It's freaking me out.
I might be one of the X-Men. I don't know.
What about an Apple Watch? Have you tried that?
No, I can't afford that.
Imagine you buy a $1,200 Apple Watch and it stops working just because you put it on. That's weird.
Okay, now wait a minute now. That would actually be a great idea, because if it does work, that means I have transcended my reality. And the fact that it's digital and I'm able to control it, I will be able to enter the digital realm to do a fight with AI. Wouldn't that be awesome? Save the world.
Let's
talk about tomorrow. How about that?
I
We can
think
do
about
that,
tomorrow.
too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Don't we have somebody coming tomorrow?
Yes, and if we start talking AI, John Bird's going to get freaked out. So I'm doing this for you.
We can dance if we want to.
Tomorrow we will have Leland Whaley right here in the studio.
Ooh.
Very excited about that. A lot of people are excited about it because Leland's frankly the man. He's numero uno in Birmingham, really in Alabama. One of my, dare I say, one of my heroes. The way I do radio, and you know this, John Bird, is I don't have any radio training. And Leland pointed this out the other day where he said, I like the way you interview because you're just talking. And I'm like, well, I don't know what else to do. He's like, well, you haven't been trained in radio. So
Yes, and ruined by that.
he ruined by the radio business. So because of that, I was always a big-time listener of talk shows, morning shows. And so all of my favorite people, I've pulled a little bit from each person, and I've created this monster known as The Line. Leland is one of those people that I pulled from, but he's also the one that gets credit for me being where I am today, because if it wasn't for him, essentially pulling me to the Birmingham market, I would have never made my way to 99.5. I would have never met the people like Richard Dixon and Matt Murphy and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I'm excited about that, because he's, I owe him a lot of credit in the sense of, what you and I are getting to do today. Like, if it wasn't for Leland, you'd still be getting yelled at by Matt Murphy.
Oh, God.
I didn't even think about
horrible.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, probably.
Think about how things could have changed just because Leland didn't do one thing.
What didn't he do?
Well, I'm saying if he wouldn't have brought me to Birmingham.
Oh, okay. I thought you had the scoop on him or something.
No.
It's like, what did Leland do?
So he's going to be here tomorrow. A Richard Dixon podcast went off without a hitch. I think that thing turned out phenomenal.
It did.
I was real happy with how that turned out. It was entertaining, yeah.
And the fact that he added the Jello shot element, I wish it had not been
stroke of genius.
I wish it had not been a Wednesday, and I would have just gone toe to toe with him on a Thursday or a Friday night.
I did it.
Tony Gump did it. Amy did it. They picked up my slack because I just couldn't do it, especially since it was our first interview. I'm like, I don't want to screw it up and get. I don't get sloppy drunk anyway, but I don't want to get over the top. Like,
well, you don't want to take it over the line.
Oh my goodness,
that was good.
God, I got to kill myself.
No, I'm looking forward to Leland. I think it'll be good, and just do the same thing you did before. Just let the person talk. That's really what you did, and it was really good.
Well, with people like Leland, people like Dixon, it was easier for me. Like, I don't like doing interviews. I just don't like. Y'all know I don't bring people on the radio show. I don't know. There's something uncomfortable about them. But when I'm having these guys on, it's easier because I'm not interviewing them. I'm having a conversation with them. And I think that's going to help us bleed into the next level of interviews. I don't want to call them interviews, though. Can we use another term?
We need to come up with something.
Like, we'll call them
people we talk to.
partakings.
Partaking people's opinion.
Instead of hot takes, we'll call them hot partakes.
Hot partakes. That sounds sort of like saying partay.
Yeah, because we'll have to come up with something. A regular interview is like boring, and these are just fun. Right. We just turn it on and we hang out.
So we'll get through. Here's what we want to do. We want to bring in station people first because we want them to be able to get their story out, hang out, check out the studio, which is phenomenal. Then we want to start moving into some of the people that you don't normally think about. Like, we've got several people in mind that we're going to bring in that have an interesting story.
Love a good story.
Or are from an interesting realm, like their specialty or what they do for work. Like, I think that's going to be good, and it's going to be educational. Do you ever think we'd be putting on an educational podcast?
No.
It's crazy.
That's so smart. Hold on.
Now, you're teaching people every day. I hear it every day. They're learning.
What am I teaching? I'm like the substitute teacher. Actually, I'm like the good-looking substitute teacher all the girls fall in love with, and the principal's like, you can't stay at this school anymore. I'm like, why? I can't help the way I look. He said, you're too handsome to be a teacher here. So.
Wow. I'm glad you got that story out. I'd never heard that.
That was, that one, it took a while. Back when we did the podcast where you talked to me, I couldn't dig that out of myself.
Right. Well, you had a lot you had to put on the table.
Yeah.
That seems like a lifetime ago, by the way. Will you, Tony, pull up the Over the Line YouTube channel? And I want us just to go back and I want to see what we look like.
No.
I think this was like, 6 months ago?
Easy.
6 months ago, we did the first John Bird, Angel McClain interview. And, Tony subscribed to me. I'm on a subscriber list. Would you look at that? Over the Line, Lebowski. What? Look at people searching me with 2 C's. All right, there we go. You're going to have to probably scroll down a good bit.
I'm putting up now. Okay. You
Look
said
how
the
old
one with
that...
you and Bird.
Yeah.
Which one?
You're going to have to go way back. So keep going. Keep going. Obama eating a hot dog.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a Larry Sinclair podcast.
Yeah.
No, not that one. Keep going.
There's AJ.
There's AJ. We're getting close. There's Will getting closer. And there's Bird. No plan on what to do?
No.
Okay.
What a difference.
No. Once again, going into life just unprepared.
Eyes closed.
Yeah. So finally, after
We do
3
look
weeks,
a little chubby there, John Bird.
Yeah, but you know what? The guy with the green shirt, I like his hair.
Yeah, you did spike that hair up.
Yeah, I mean, mine looks like crap now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I can admit it.
No,
I can admit
I
it.
don't think your hair looks bad.
Look at this. Are you kidding me? Well, I got these little grandpa curly cues up here, you know. Trying to keep them clean, trying to stay young, man. It's hard.
Do you want to keep that gray going? Like you fan of the gray?
Yeah, because, I mean, especially like I used to do my beard. Well, there's not really enough of a beard here. And I tried it one time and got like the dye on my skin.
Mhm.
So I'm like, you can't do. I'm not good with dye, as you can tell.
Now the ladies like the gray. They like the older man look. See, you got a younger aura about you. But if you throw that gray in the mix, killing it. I know you're in a relationship, but it's
Well, no, I mean, I want to look great for everybody.
How has this relationship been? We just mentioned it on air the other day. Are you
Yes.
like very happy?
Yes, I am.
No speed bumps along the way?
No.
It's just been smooth sailing.
Smooth sailing.
Do you feel like you're back in high school?
A little bit?
You feel like you're dating back in 12th
Yeah,
grade
I mean, a little bit.
or 9th grade?
9th grade was a bad grade. No, let's go sophomore year.
Sophomore
Okay,
year, 10th
yeah.
grade?
Yeah. I was in 10th grade.
Is she as crazy about you as you are about her?
I would like to think so.
That's good. That's
So
good.
I mean, I'm sure she probably has some fondness for me.
You going to Thanksgiving with her to meet all the family?
No.
No.
No, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
What about Christmas?
No, I don't celebrate Christmas. No, I do. I'm lying. But no, I mean, I'll be seeing, my own, folks and stuff. The great thing is we've got this relationship and we're able to work around it. We don't necessarily see each other all the time.
But you got to meet family.
I mean, at some point, we're taking it.
Don't meet family
Slow.
yet. Wait on that, yeah.
Yeah.
You think so? You think
Yes,
wait on family?
You wait a little bit before you gotta, you gotta wait a little bit.
When was the decision made to say, "Hey, we're an item"?
Depends on the people in John's head.
Yeah, don't get. Listen, John Bird is immune. If he gets this date wrong, you are immune. It's no harm, no foul. Just give us an estimate.
No, I would say probably 3 months.
Okay, 3 months. Tony Gump, I think that's
I'm thinking, okay, 3 months. That's getting somewhere.
Yeah, but like I said, we're taking our time. She, this special young lady is hilarious, very intelligent, hilarious. Loves the show.
Mm-hmm.
Loved the show and loved to hear drummer plays the guitar long before, we met. So.
What about? Have you met any family to date? You don't have to tell me who. I'm not trying to pry too far. I'm just.
Sort of.
So
I
you
just
met-
want to know if she knows what she wants to eat when it's time to eat. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's a good question. Have y'all gone to dinner and had to pick where to eat?
Yeah, and we're pretty much like, as long as there's somewhere where we can sit and talk and have a good time.
So you say you kind of met a family member. Were they asleep when you met them? What does that mean?
Oh,
No. I was able to help. I tried to help out a little bit technically over the phone.
Okay, so you met them over the phone.
Yeah, not really met him. Just I'm was like a tech guy. Kind of thing.
Did you didn't say, "Hey, I'm your family member's man"?
Oh no.
No. Okay.
No, we're keeping it. I mean, this is not like, Travis Kelce and
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
We're keeping it on the down low.
So you're not telling family. You told radio before you told family.
Well, no, I mean, like my dad knows that I have a special person,
Right.
and he was very happy.
I'm just practicing my interview skills, and I can tell I'm making you uncomfortable, which is good. The future's bright on this podcast.
Yes.
This is really good. Okay, so anyway,
Kind of hot in here too.
that's all I need to know, Joe Bird. That's it. There is another issue that we need to bring up, and this was brought up on the show today.
Mm-hmm.
We need to further diversify the wheel of segments. Okay, and Trish tipped me off about something that was called "Am I the Asshole?" And this is on Reddit. And for those that don't know what Reddit is, it's just a forum. What do you call that thing? A message board, if you will. And they have a trillion different categories. I mean, you could get down to the categories of Birmingham radio or whatever you can think of. And in this one, it says, "Am I the a-hole?" And then they give a story, right? They say, I've got this going on. Am I the jerk, or is the other person the jerk? Or is nobody the jerk? That's essentially what it is. And there's an endless amount of these stories on Reddit. And so my question is, in our pursuit to diversify the wheel of segment, should we add one of those to the wheel, the "Am I the a-hole"?
Yes. I mean, I think it's custom made.
Like it's already there. It's so easy to just pull
it's
from.
So easy to not only pull from, but it would be a great addition to the segment.
Let's pull this up, Tony.
Okay.
Am I the a-hole? Let's just pick a random one and read it. So this one says, "Am I the a-hole for not letting a service dog into my party?" It says, "I am a 29-year-old male. I hosted a pumpkin carving party for my friends and this past weekend, and a decision I made is causing drama amongst us.
Uh-oh.
The party was indoors, as it's still nearly 100 degrees during the day where I'm at. Whew. I dislike cats and dogs, any at all. My friends know this. Primarily, I think they are filthy. I want nothing to do with them because of that. A buddy and his current fling, early relationship girlfriend, however you want to define it, shows up. She has a golden retriever with her. I did not know this dog was coming. No one ran this by me. I would have said no. I pulled him aside and told him the dog had to go. He says if the dog has to go, she has to go. And then he has to go. I just say, come on, man. You should have known better than to bring a dog to my house. He said this is a service animal, apparently for diabetes.
What?
He thought it would be different. I said no, it might medically help her, but might medically help her, but it's still an effing animal. He starts arguing, but I said I maintain my stance. I offered to keep it in the garage with the AC on. He goes and talks to his girl, and she looks annoyed. I felt bad about that. They opt to leave. He lets me know I'm an a-hole. My friends were all split on how I handle it. Am I the asshole?
Wow.
What do you think?
Well, okay. I mean, it's diabetes.
How does a dog help you with diabetes?
I don't know. If you're blind, I can see bringing that dog in.
Does the dog give you an insulin shot when you go down?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess if he's really well trained,
he bring you a protein shake or something?
Yeah, I mean, if they're really well trained, I don't think, it would be a problem. But,
yeah.
If you don't like dogs and cats.
I got a vape. This one's got me stressed out.
Well, you think about it. Did he bother to put on the invitation, no pets, please?
Yeah, really, that should be on him. Like, if you're that against pets, cut it out. Tony Gump, is he the a-hole?
That's a tough one. I think a little bit, yeah. Just a little bit. Yeah.
Amy says yes. He's the a-hole.
Yeah.
Oh, how big was the dog?
It's a golden retriever.
It's a golden retriever.
That's a big dog.
Yeah, and they do shed, not like a lab. And maybe he was allergic. Maybe that's it.
Now, if the dog shits in the house, then both of them are the a-hole, because then you got a double a-hole deal going on.
Yeah, but then if you have to clean it up and you have a good attitude about it, then are you still a complete a-hole?
I don't know. I say, yeah, I'm with
So,
y'all.
yeah,
I think he
balances.
is. Like, if unless you're allergic, like once the dog's there, just tell your buddy, hey, I've got this thing about dogs, so can we just keep the dog being in here at a minimum, or like maybe
That's what I would do. I would go confront it first and hit it head on. But
Yeah.
he was a little bit of an a-hole. kinda.
don't make it awkward. All right, let's pick another one. I love this, by the way. I think this is
too.
fantastic.
All right.
So let's go back and see what the next am I an a-hole.
Apparently, dogs can sense a drop of glucose in a diabetic.
Oh, that's what it says. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
That's,
All right,
that's on the
go.
internet.
Okay.
Just
so
go
let's go to
back.
the next one. All right.
And let's see what the next one says.
All right. Let's just right here.
Yeah, am I the a-hole for refusing to put to these people can't spell, they can't write, they have no grammar.
To put from mom and dad on my
Okay.
son's birthday card, or reminding him that I was our kid's birthday. See, that doesn't make no sense.
Wait, let me read it verbatim. Am I the a-hole for refusing to put from mom and dad on my son's birthday card, or reminding him that I was our kid's birthday? It was our kid's birthday. It says, so I will try to keep it short. My ex and I had issues, and we were divorced. One of the big ones was he thought he was a great father, but in the reality is I just presented him as that. If I planned a whole party, I would say it was from both of us. He would forget and then piggyback off all my work. Now my son's birthday is this weekend, and I had the kids and did a party, got the gifts and so on. Now halfway through the day, since there was no call from him or to wish the kids happy birthday, it became obvious that he forgot. He absolutely noticed by the end of the day. It was quite sad. I told him he will be seeing him tomorrow, and maybe he has a surprise. She told that to her son, hey, maybe you see your dad tomorrow.
Oh, man.
Well, nothing. He didn't plan a thing, and he only remembered after our son basically yelled at him for forgetting. We got in a huge phone argument about me being petty, that I didn't throw his name on the card or even remind him when it was clear he forgot. I don't see why I should, since he is a grown adult and he should step up. He thinks I'm a huge jerk. My mom got involved and told me I should have for the kid's sake. That's a tough one. I mean, obviously the dad's an a-hole. You can't forget your kid's birthday.
No.
But you get in this awkward situation. If you're the mom, the dad doesn't deserve you putting his name on the card.
Right.
But in order to keep the kid from being upset, do you do it? And make them think that the dad remembered, and then you just tell the dad on the backside, hey, you jerk, you a-hole, you forgot your kid's birthday, don't let it happen again.
Yeah, I mean, you want to always minimize the trauma because, I mean, a divorce, it's a traumatic
It's bad
event.
enough, yeah.
Yeah, so I think she was a bit of an a-hole. He's a huge a-hole. She's a little bitty a-hole.
Okay.
I think they all have a-holes, just bigger or smaller, depending.
Dad's got a big a-hole.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Tony?
I'd say there's a-holes going all around on that situation. And
But if you got to pick a side, who's not the a-hole in this situation, mom or dad?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Dad should have remembered the birthday first off. There's no excuse for that.
Yeah, I think dad's the biggest a-hole. All right, let's do one more. I love this.
All right.
All right, we're going back. This is great. This is going to be great for the Wheel of Segments.
Okay. Oh, that's that one.
Yeah, you
Let me
got to go
back.
backwards
Yeah,
for me.
I gotcha.
Let's
All
see. Telling my girlfriend to stay out of a family issue. Let's keep going. Let's find a good one. Am I the a-hole for making my family member and her infant leave during a wedding ceremony? That's a pretty good one.
Do that.
Wait, go back. I think I got one more. Let's see. Am I the a-hole for saying no and pulling my arm away from a special needs team?
Let's do that.
Oh, no.
There you go.
All right, this weekend, a 26-year-old female, was at an amusement park that gets quite busy. I was standing waiting for an event to start. A friend of mine went to grab snacks when I felt something brush against my arm. I didn't think much of it because, like I said, this park gets busy and sometimes that could happen. A few moments later, I felt another brush against my arm. I glanced back real quick and I see a teen, maybe 16 years old, in a wheelchair. Shortly after, I feel a hand grab onto my arm. I pull away and try to move a little further. The teen grabs my arm again and starts patting me. I say no and pull away to leave. As I start walking away, I hear the mom, assuming it's the mom, yelling out that her kid has special needs and is being loving and doesn't hurt anyone. Pretty sure she called me
ableist.
Ableist. She's pretty sure she called me ableist, but at that point, I'd already walked off. Am I the a-hole? I don't like being grabbed. I don't want any physical contact with someone I don't know. Should I have handled it better? Okay, that's a good one. That's a real good one.
There's a lot of ifs here. I mean, for instance, was the disability noticeable or did...
She's in a wheelchair.
Well, yeah, but I mean, does she just look like she's lost use of her legs? So you can't tell? Or by the way she's reacting or the look on her face?
I mean, like, if you got a random person grabbing you...
See, I'd have a problem with the grabbing regardless of what's going on in the head, you know?
Yeah, because, I mean, what if they grab your junk after that? You give them a pass on the arm, next thing you know, they're grabbing that wee Willie Winker. And then you got a real problem on your hands.
I told a joke one time at a party, and one kid came up to me and he said, "That wasn't funny." And I was like, "What do you know?" And he walked off, and then his parents came up and said, "Oh, he's special, you know." Oh.
Tony's over here chewing out special needs kids.
Yeah, it happened. Sorry about that.
So let's go back to that one, and let's look and see what people have said in the comments.
Right,
what would you do, John Bird, if that happened to you?
Honestly, the first time I got the pull, I would turn around. I've worked with special needs kids before. I would probably recognize that and say, "Hey, how are you doing?" You know. Do something like that.
I thought Bird was going to say he'd grab that wheelchair and push it down a hill.
Oh, no.
That kid will never grab another person's arm. Click the 262. There you go.
You just have to be
click
aware.
that guy. No, you got to. It's not letting you click it. What the? Hit the circle. No. There you go. Scroll down. It doesn't let you scroll down. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay.
There we go. It says
now right here.
Opie has offered the following explanation for why they think. Says, I feel I could be the a-hole because I could have handled the situation differently. Okay, that's the poster saying something. All right, keep going down. See if the comments are down there. Here we go. NTA, what does that mean?
I've never seen NTA.
It says like a tire and battery place, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Special needs or not, special needs or not, you have the right to remove yourself from a situation where you are being touched when you don't want to be. It doesn't sound like you were aggressive or rude and just said no while creating some physical distance. The mom needs to work to ensure her kid isn't touching people they don't know, as in the future it could put them in a dangerous situation. Okay.
That's a good point.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got the NTA is not the asshole. Just so
okay.
There
So
you
it's
go.
not that bad. I was going to get some.
Right.
We're going to have to really learn our Reddit lingo.
Yeah, the hip lingo.
Scroll down for a minute. Let me just read a couple more of these. Keep going. Keep going. You got to, keep going until we get to the next main comment. This is doing a bunch of replies to that one.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Man, Reddit's confusing.
Maybe.
Even if OP, I guess the original poster, was rude or aggressive, she would still be in the right. Women don't owe niceness or politeness to males that start grabbing them out of nowhere. Okay, fair enough.
Oh, wait a minute. Whoa.
All right, here's a new one.
Whoa.
This guy's name's Commander in Cheeks.
Not the asshole.
Yeah, NTA. Looks like everybody's going to be NTA. It's not ableist to not want to be touched by a stranger, and it doesn't make you an a-hole to say no and pull away. Mom's an a-hole for not respecting that. However, loving her teen is not everyone wants to be loved like that. I feel like I've got some situations going on when I'm reading some of this stuff. If her teen is unable to understand boundaries, she should be the one to understand them and follow them. Okay, so not the a-hole in that deal. She's fine.
Yeah, I kind of think. Yeah,
she's an NTA. All right, I know I said that was the last one, but let's go back a page and let's try one more. I'm having too much fun.
Okay.
And we've got, am I the a-hole for asking my husband not to come to my prenatal appointment? I mean,
how about this one right here, 4.7?
Am I the a-hole for refusing to go out to dinner with my autistic nephew because of ranch dressing?
No, let's skip that one.
No,
I was like, what is that? I just looking for most comments.
Why is there so many special needs
I don't know.
situations
I'm
here?
just looking for most comments.
Let's see. Am I the a-hole for pulling out math problems to prove my cousin is not smarter than me? All right, keep going. Let's just read a couple more.
All right.
Hey, you're fine. Am I the a-hole for telling my brother-in-law that if he wants to charge us for a family trip, he should pay us back for every cent we gave him? Am I the a-hole for throwing a tantrum at my mother for cutting into a cake that I baked into for the family?
What?
Am I the a-hole for not letting my son play with his friend after a friend's mom said my sister will go to hell? Must be that church and warrior. Am I the a-hole for telling my 20-year-old fiance that he needs to stop ridiculing my degree? Okay, let's go there. Let's go there.
This one?
Not down.
Oh,
one.
right down
yeah.
here. I got you.
So this is, I think this is a female. 20-year-old female, and my fiance, 24-year-old male, will get married next year in the summer, and I'm very much looking forward to this. We have our issues, but then again, which couple doesn't, right? However, lately he has been ridiculing my studies and the degree I'm getting. I'm studying in the Netherlands, and he lives in Denmark, so we will close the distance next year after the wedding. I'm currently in my last year of the bachelor's degree in biomedical sciences. I would argue, but of course I'm biased, that this is a very intensive study and requires a lot of time and effort. Sometimes when I complain about this, he says my degree doesn't matter and that I would be better off quitting anyway. The reason why he says this is because he would like to have a marriage with a more traditional gender roles once we are married. So he will earn the money and I will become the stay-at-home mom. I don't have a problem with this, but I would like to have a degree to fall back on during tough times. Whenever I try to make this argument, he shuts it down immediately and claims that I would be better off just quitting my studies and becoming a housewife already, since once we are married, I will never use my degree anyway. I would not mind working EG 2 times a week, but he is strongly opposed to this, as he claims that it would interfere with my task and chores in our marriage.
Oh my God. Okay, am I confused? This is 2 guys?
A guy and a girl.
All right. Okay, so it's a guy and a girl.
Yeah. No. She's doing school and she wants to have her own career, but the fiance is like, hey, I just want to I want you to be a stay-at-home mom. I'll make the money.
Yeah.
You wash the dishes, and she's like, I at least want to get my degree. So there's a lot to unpack here. Okay, so you've got I understand where the male is coming from. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with the traditional marriage,
right,
where the wife is home and the husband is out working. Nothing wrong with that, but it's not for everybody.
Exactly.
When it comes to a marriage, it's a 50-50 deal, and you got to meet each other in the middle.
Yep.
Well, she's making it clear, hey, I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom with no degree, so I'm okay with the idea, but let me finish my deal, my diploma, my degree, and then I'll do the stay-at-home mom stuff. But he's trying to get her to cut out the degree. It's like, dude, just give it another year, let her finish the deal, she'll come back home, be a stay-at-home mom.
Let her do it, because probably many years down the road, you're going to end up cheating on her, and you'll get divorced. You dirtbag, scumbag, you. Let her get her degree.
That's right.
Up yours.
That's right.
Oh, boy.
That's exactly right.
Now,
I'm with John Bird on that one.
Yeah, I agree. I think you got to kind of stop it right away, because if they don't get over that control thing over the woman, it's going to escalate into something worse much later. She might not be able to drive, or,
She's wearing a burqa, and she's not allowed to go out in public without a male.
Yeah.
And she's living in Gaza.
You got to nip that in the bud right away because you need freedom. Freedom's what it's all about, right?
Next thing you know, she's living in an open-air prison being bombed by Israel.
Mm-hmm.
It spirals quick like that. Or is what's going on here, she's being overly dramatic and she's lying to us about what's really going on.
I'd like to get the other side of the story now that you mention it, because sometimes it's all exaggerated.
Maybe
but
we
probably controlling man.
Maybe we shouldn't go into the "Am I the a-hole?" because I'm going to start wanting to interview the posters from this website. Like, hey, you ever been on a podcast? You want to come hang out with us? Anyway, I think it's a fantastic idea. We could probably do an entire show on these.
I know.
It's phenomenal. Trish is the one that originally told me about it, and I was like, well, that sounds like a pretty good idea, but I never really looked into it until today. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, we need a new deal on the Willow segments because, we could keep going with what we got and just add some new things, but some of those we've had for a very long time.
Yeah, we could...
I've seen Matt Walsh, that one guy. I've seen him do the "Am I the a-hole?" And I should have said a-hole and not the whole word earlier. Whoops.
Yeah, don't say asshole in this podcast.
Please don't.
It's not appropriate.
Yeah, ass is just not one of those words you want to say.
No.
Yeah, my bad, guys.
So don't be an ass by saying asshole.
That's right. Don't say asshole. It's a simple.
Well, if you describe what it is, it's not the person, but you can say the actual thing. Like in a frog, it would be the cloaca.
Right.
Oh, okay. But see, now you're in a medical show.
Okay.
Now you've got a medical show. You have to talk about medical stuff.
Well, it's just like on the radio. The FCC is kind of weird. They just don't want you to talk about sexual stuff. So
right.
I can call John Bird an asshole, but I can't talk about John Bird's asshole.
That's what it was.
Thank God.
I knew it was one or the other.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I could call you a dick, but
please don't.
I can't.
Please don't.
I can't refer to your Wee Willie Winker as.
Yeah. Well, how does Wee Willie Winker get to pass?
It's because you made it up.
Yeah, but
it's not on the FCC list.
How many different? You can kind of when you hear it, you kind of know, don't you think?
I guess.
Yeah. Wee Willie Winker.
I thought it was a funny name. Yeah, but when I hear the word Willie,
sounds British.
Yeah. Yes.
Like Free Willy.
Wee Willie Winker. Wee Willie Winker.
Yeah, so Wee Willie Winker.
So what do y'all
Very
think?
nice.
What do y'all think about guests once we get past the radio people? Like when we start pulling people from the real world, what do y'all think? Who do you think we should bring on here?
I like all the interesting people that nobody really knows, but
yes.
I'm all about Larry Sinclair.
Jay wants Larry Sinclair. I'm not opposed to that. He's got some free time on his hands.
And you know what? You could take a different angle a little bit with him in that, it just your timing seems kind of, strange here. Are you really just doing this for,
No, because I don't want him to be like, yes, it's all made up. That would crush me. I want all this to be real.
I would be crushed.
Me? They would be. What?
Yeah, we don't want to. If he's lying, I don't want to know. I need this to keep going.
Your podcast, this roundtable, this podcast would go absolutely ape shit. It would blow up.
I don't know.
But you said that he had a lot on his hands. I think he really did have a lot on his hands.
Yeah, he did.
Where's mine? We can dance.
Roundtable Willie.
Hey, Roundtable Willie, baby. Yeah, he had his hands full of Obama schlong. Anyway, who's somebody else? We're talking about people that are not known necessarily, okay. or where they can be known to an extent, but like, who's somebody that would just kind of be off the radar that you'd want to bring in?
Yeah, like I said, I like an expansive backstory. Something that's like, wow. Where he's at right now might be just, normal or whatever, but how did he arrive at that position?
Well, give me some names, though. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, let's go ahead and make the list.
I want to give you names. I have names already
just
in
give
mind,
them.
But I don't want to do that because it'll ruin it.
Well, we don't have to
I'll give
book
you a
them.
name. Stan.
Is that one of the people in the condominium up there?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, actually, it's over by my ear, behind my ear. That's his place.
Yeah, that's a voice in John Bird's head. But no, you're not gonna ruin it. Let's just toss some names, and we're not saying we're gonna have these people. We're just coming up with ideas, like, what about, I talked to Rhonda Dial the other day, and so I'm thinking about, maybe we could squeeze her in at some point and talk about organic stuff. Maybe talk about vaccines with Rhonda Dial.
I think it would be smart.
Mm-hmm.
Because Rhonda's got the answer.
I'd be interested in that.
Yeah, because they don't ask that on their show, I don't think.
Mm-mm. People just call in and say, I have geriatric arthritis. What do I take?
But Rhonda kind of falls into the radio category. So let's go outside the radio category and say, is there who's somebody that's like Birmingham famous?
What about people like that are with the show that like Angry Carrie and other people like that?
Boom. Angry Carrie.
Yep.
Book it, cuzzy.
Yep.
That one's happening. That one's got to happen. Angry Carrie going to be up here in the house. God, that would be good.
If he brings a Bud Light this time, I'm gonna lose it. I can.
John Bird, we have been concerned about Angry Carrie writing a new book.
I know it.
We could literally get him on this podcast and have him spill enough of his stories where the book is written. You just got to take the podcast and make a book out of it.
I used to do books. I wrote a book about a candy apple red Mustang that I, as a 15-year-old, snuck out and got into it and drove down to the beach where I found all these beautiful girls, and they invited me to a party.
Yeah.
And the police got there, and then I ran out of steam and stopped at page 34. But I stapled it together.
Really?
Yeah, but I never finished.
Was it based on a true story, or was that
I was 14, so it was based on a story that I wish was true.
Okay.
I was the main character.
Gotcha. Well, okay, so Angry Carrie. I'm making a mental list here.
All right.
Who else? Who's some of these big characters that we used to have on the show? I don't hardly take phone calls these days, so I don't have some of the people that I used to have. What about old radio people?
I could get some old radio people.
Who's some old radio people that hadn't been in the game in a while that you know?
See, what about Bubba the Love Sponge, possibly?
Oh God, I would love that.
I think we can make that happen. Somebody's got a connection, I heard.
Well, I've got a connection to his producer, like his executive producer. I've talked to the guy, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to put it in Bubba's ear," and then they just kind of. I don't want to say they blow us off because the guy's super nice and he talks to me about it. I think more of it's Bubba's blowing us off just because he doesn't, he just doesn't know a lot about the podcast. But I'm not going to give up till I get him on there.
He's big time.
The more episodes that we have, the more not only can we get sharper and refine this, but we'll have more material he can look and see. Is this something that I'd like to do?
Would we ever go the route of politicians?
No, I would say not.
I don't think so either.
I think you need to be open to everybody, and you never know. You might find the right one at the right time.
I would feel more comfortable having a politician on here than I would on the radio show because there's no rules over here. I can just get them to be straight up.
Yeah. I just my big thing is, if they're an active politician, are they going to have this veneer?
What does that mean?
Well, they got, it's like you're not going to get but so far with them, or they come in with an agenda, which I can't stand.
Well, all politicians are going to have an agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah, they mostly do. But I'll tell you what, I'd like to have them here and question them uninterrupted without commercials. And then we also get to kind of use our own personal BS meter.
Right.
No,
I think that's a good idea. I think we could break through the sheen, or what'd you call it? The veneer?
The veneer.
I think we can break through the veneer if we're in this magical place where they don't have a boss to complain to if they don't like what happened. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, yeah.
They're stuck. And then we've got them on record saying whatever it is we wanted them to say.
And I think especially if we can do former politicians, because they have the stories. You can get the stories.
What about Roy Moore? right here on this podcast.
No way, dude.
Yeah, could you imagine?
That might have to be a two-parter. Wow.
Wouldn't that be good?
Two-parter, yeah.
And if he still, he had a band and they recorded an album, maybe if he's still playing guitar, he could do a little song.
Does he play guitar?
Yeah, he I don't want to say he bought a band, but he had a band, and they went up to Nashville and spent an unholy amount on putting the album out and really promoted it, and it never really did anything. But it was a country band.
Well, are we talking about the same person?
Yeah,
Roy Moore.
yeah. So you want to talk about fascinating backstory? That's top of the list to me.
What about do we have a place to park a horse outside in the parking lot?
We can maybe find a way. I don't know.
Can you find a stall or just a post for him to tie the horse
just to
to?
tie the horse to.
I think we can make something happen if he wanted to come on, but that'd be up to you guys.
Do you remember the stories? Like, during all that, I was over at the other station, and you weren't quite at 99.5 yet. But the stories that were coming out about Roy Moore, which I don't think most of them were accurate. Because I thought Roy Moore was a horrible politician, but I also thought he was getting railroaded because they really wanted Doug Jones in there. They said he would go up to like high school football games in Gadsden, and he would be wearing overalls with no shirt underneath. Now keep in mind, this is the most well-known guy in that area, but he was just like this huge Herbert the pervert kind of, macking on little kids and all this. It was so outlandish, and it's like, why are we just not hearing about this stuff?
Now, see, in my opinion, anytime the media attacks somebody, that makes me interested and want to talk to them because I don't like the media, So I assume maybe there's something we don't know. And when they smear somebody heavily, that means they're not part of the machine, in my opinion.
Yeah, because when I got to 99.5 and everybody was trashing John Bird, I was like, that's the guy I want my producer to be. Like,
yep,
there's something special about him. Everybody hates his guts.
Well, they're jealous. I get this all the time. They're jealous about my salary, what I make or I don't make. I mean, and they're particular fans. I did not know this, but Richard Dixon and Leland have always wanted a 2001 silver Ford Mustang.
Really?
And I'm tired of them offering me. Yeah, they're like kind of going. There's a little thing.
How much money are they offering you for it?
Well, Richard started out with $250, and I was like, dude, no.
Right.
And Leland said, $260 right here. So it's up to like $272, and I just.
Do you have a number you'd sell it to him for?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I would go as low as 10.2.
10.2 thousand?
Yes.
Okay.
A little over.
Fair enough.
Over 10.
I mean, that's if you
or
want
if they wanted to buy me a car.
If you want it that bad, Cole.
Or if they want to buy me dinner or something, I'm hungry. Please. If you're out
like
there,
anything, please.
We're gonna ask him. We're gonna ask Leland tomorrow night when he comes on the show if if he's willing to go up on what he's willing to pay for that Mustang.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to do that.
No, it's fine.
No,
I don't mind.
I wouldn't.
I don't mind asking.
It's very sensitive. It's very sensitive about it, and I don't want him to.
Okay, I'll just.
Yeah. See.
I won't ask him.
No, you just. We're kind of keeping it on the down low.
Gotcha.
It'll be cool. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. I think it'll be a good time.
One of the other things I'm going to talk to him about is what we talked about at the beginning of the show with the panic attacks.
Yes.
I brought it up to him a couple weeks ago because we don't get to see each other a whole lot other than swapping in and out of the studio.
Right.
And almost daily we talk about how we're going to go get a beer together, and we don't do it. I was talking to him about it, and he said, dude, I had the same thing going on years ago. He was like, it was bizarre. It didn't make any sense. He said, I'd have a weird pain in my chest or something, and then I would convince myself that I'm having a heart attack. He said, and then the panic attack starts, and it just makes it worse, and things get crazy and everything else. And as he's describing it, I'm like, that's like almost exactly to a T what I'm dealing with. So he's like, listen, it's nothing. It's your mind playing tricks on you. Once I convinced myself of that, I didn't have any more problems. And I said, okay, fair enough. And it helped me a little bit. Didn't eliminate it, but it helped. And so I kind of had that same thing happen today, and I told him about it, and he was like, yeah, I had one the other day too. And I'm like, well, let's hammer that out when we do the podcast. We can have Dr. Leland and Dr. Drew try to get to the bottom of panic attacks.
That would be interesting. I think that the panic attacks, even though it's a condition, in your mind, it affects everyone differently.
Yeah.
And therefore the symptoms might be different.
I don't know. I'm just.
I
kind of
agree with that. I've had them myself, and I know exactly what you're talking about, the chest thing, and then you
They're
feel like
awful.
it's really
so
bad,
bad.
and
It's
it
scary.
freaks you out. I went to the hospital and thought I was having a heart attack.
Yeah, that's what I did. The night before the jawbone jam, it was midnight. I was at the freaking hospital.
When it's new and you're not used to that, it freaks you out. So you automatically assume the worst, like, okay, bye-bye,
Yeah. See you, cuz.
I had one last spring, and it was awful. I felt like I was just burning up. So I stripped off my clothes. Because, I kept my underwear on and ran around the house 3 times, and it worked. I was
Really?
breathing like that, yeah.
Really?
So next time that happens, take your shirt off and your pants and just run around. Either if you're at home, run around the house 3 times. If you're at the building, I would only run 2 times around the building.
Okay.
And
Fair enough.
then your body's focused on something else. Like,
I'm running around naked.
yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll try that. I'm willing to try anything. So we'll see. Anyway, we'll hammer all that out tomorrow night when Leland comes on. Very excited about that. For those of you that are watching this, don't forget our other Roundtable Willies. They're all right here on the YouTube channel, or they're right there on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you see it. And go watch the Richard Dixon podcast, because that thing was good. Anything else? Any parting words?
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
All right, we're out of here. Until next time, see you, cuz!